Hello, YouTube, and welcome to the BOWA show.
Yes, Sean.
We're hoping that you saw last week's video at this point, because it may not be on there yet.
YouTube is changing things up, and they're making it a little bit difficult for my video to appear on YouTube. Oh, no, wait. They're making it difficult for me to figure out how to get the video up.
Yes.
Nothing to do with YouTube. All user error. I apologize. Sorry, Justin.
If we were kid-friendly, we would be having an issue. Because
Yes.
apparently there are a lot stricter rules now for aimed at kid shows. But that's not us.
No.
We swear too much.
We definitely are kid-friendly with parental guidance.
Yeah. You know, like you should always
PG-13.
You should always be there to say to your kids, don't talk like that.
Yeah. Sean is speaking potty language.
Yes. I have to say that to my nieces and nephews regularly.
Uncle Sean getting the kids in trouble.
That's right.
Damn.
Ignore my potty mouth. Should we
All
get
right.
this started?
Let's get it started. Let me get it going here.
Hello, and welcome to the BOWA show. Living a positive life in a world that makes that incredibly difficult at times. If you're a fan of this show, whether you're on iTunes, Google Play, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcast from for your positivity package, leave us a review. It makes a huge difference. Find us on Facebook, the BOWA Show Podcast, for little things throughout your week. And, of course, our growing community on YouTube. If you're on YouTube right now, make sure you click that subscribe button, notification bell right next to it. That tells you every time the BOWA Show is able to actually post something on there.
My bad.
That's right. But leave us those reviews everywhere you can. Let people know that this show is tolerable. It's a big deal.
Tolerable, yeah.
I'm lowering the bar a little bit for you guys out there. If you want to leave a 4-star review, you go right ahead. Maybe people have felt like I can't leave them a review. I don't feel like they've earned 5 stars. Yeah. But now go ahead and drop that 4-star. Who cares?
What's the value of a star?
A big one, apparently. But today we're here for episode 33.
Yes, we are.
We are 33 episodes deep into this experiment of the BOWA show.
It is definitely an experiment.
Yeah, we just kind of work with it as we go. We improve. We listen to fans.
We've got a format, but every single show is different.
It is, yeah.
Yeah, sometimes we read the news. Sometimes we don't have news ready to go until the day of. Sometimes we get comments on what news stories we should use. It is whatever we make it. Every show is different.
Yep. But everyone is just a gem. So
I like to think so.
You let people know about those gems.
Yep. Comment, share, like. Find me on Twitter. That's where we... Oh, no, wait. We don't do anything on Twitter.
Nothing.
No. We will someday.
You can at least get the link to the show on Twitter.
The funny thing is, I always call out Twitter, and I don't even personally use Twitter.
Right.
It's not like I'm a Twitter advocate. I hate that platform.
Yeah.
So... But
yeah, they do what they can.
Yeah, they do what they can. Just like us, Sean. And I'm having a good day. Tell me a little bit. Sometimes we jump right in, but I want to know, how has your week been going so far?
A good week this week. Productive. Back to working a little bit
It's
with the
warmer
snow
out right
melting.
now.
Yep, exactly. Got some roofs going on.
Mm-hmm.
Looking for the positives. You know, that's what life should be.
Yep.
I don't know anybody out there. You might have seen the video that I posted to Facebook about depression and dealing with people and the problems that, people are going through on a daily basis. And I just wanted to reassure anybody out there listening or watching that I am totally okay. I'm not putting on a mask every day and closeting all of my depression and letting it eat away at my soul. I'm not doing that.
I personally cannot say the same.
Oh, shit. We just got real and we're only 3 minutes into the podcast. No. It's going to be one of those days.
No, Sean, I know that you are great and doing well in life, and I am as well. I just personally have more struggles than you do occasionally on keeping that smile on my face.
Mm-hmm. No, there's nothing wrong with that. I feel like most people do, and I feel like that's where a lot of people are at in their lives. Mm-hmm. And so it's good that you keep that mentality because it's the voice of the listeners out there, and it's the you're in the thick of the grind. The crazy thing too is that like I get, like the memories on Facebook and stuff like that, and I'll get reminders that it was, 9-10 years ago that I started posting positive things on a regular basis and putting my attention on those kind of things. And I've been working at this for a long time, and I am still not out of the woods.
Right.
Where I still have struggles, I still have things that bother me, I still have things that get to me, but they aren't the dictation of my life anymore.
Well, and there'll never be a finish line.
Right.
It's always a constant uphill battle, but... Oh,
yeah.
You're right.
Ben will be right back. I'll fill in this moment with just that piece of advice that says we are all in the thick of it. You might be going through struggles right now, and it might be something that you're feeling the effects of that grind on you. And, I just wanted to make sure that I took the time to remind people that even with that pressure there, you can still be considerate of other people. You can still keep a mindset that says like everybody's going through battles and everybody's going through their own problems right now. So just try and be a little bit nicer. It's a message that you hear, tale as old as time, as Beauty and the Beast would say.
Be kind always.
No matter.
Always.
But I think that, that's the important message to keep with you, is that, you carry on, you keep a good attitude with you, you look out for other people, you do good things more often than not, and good things will find their way to you. Just not always on the time frame that we want.
Man, that time frame's the thing that screws up a lot of people, myself included. I go to the gym, I come home, I lift up my shirt looking for them abs.
Right.
Where they at?
That's true.
Doesn't happen.
Instant gratification. One day in the future, we may have that magic pill that you just take and solves all the problems. And unfortunately, it will be a pill because the pharmaceutical industry will have a stranglehold on our future. But
I thought the magic pill was positivity, Sean.
That's the pill I'm swallowing, Ben. And I know a lot of people out there could get down on that one. Oh God, we have the wheels coming off the wagon, and we're only real early in this episode.
It's getting a little strange.
You know what?
YouTube
That's okay.
gets to enjoy our facial expressions.
Right? Sometimes we just gotta go with it, man.
Yep. Today, Sean, I think we can be open with our audience that Sean and I sat down and said, let's just record an opener. We've got good news, and let's just see where it goes.
Yeah.
Well, we certainly are just kind of seeing where it goes.
That's right. I feel like it's just going to be a good conversation day. You know, I mean, who even knows what clips we're going to get into or where our minds will take us by the end of this episode. But as of right now, I just wanted to have a good conversation.
I think it's going to be a good one.
Yeah, good day. And a good day for good news.
We got good news.
If you have the article pulled up as well so you could read parts of it.
Indeed,
so it's
I
not
do,
just me
Sean.
doing all of it here.
Everybody loves my voice more, I've heard.
I would agree that everybody says the smooth jazz melodies of Ben's voice
Ow, now, brown cow.
is the stuff that babies are made from.
First off, I know that's a lie. Second, I lied. Nobody has told me that at all.
Oh, okay.
That I'm better. Third, no.
Well, I do have
I know I'm
a
nasal.
pretty good voice.
I'm pretty nasally, so you can take it away.
That's a deal. An 8-year-old it makes hero bags.
Hero bags.
He's helped nearly 3,000 homeless veterans. We also have to say that this message was passed along to us by a listener, so thank you very much. Aaliyah gave us the good news today. So if you're a listener out there and you're hearing this right now, make sure you're sending us those good stories. It makes our job so much easier here.
It does. It also, it really hits home because we know what people are being moved by and what people want to hear about.
Yep, what moves you can easily move us too. So
yeah, because I could sit here and talk about how Big Ben is going through a Bon Iver stage right now or something with that beard. Is he moving into a cottage soon? Bon Iver, the artist who locked himself in a cottage?
No idea. See, this is where his art history major
No, he's a pop culture icon right now.
I don't know about this.
All right, well, any fangirls out there know who Bon Iver is.
Should we talk about Tyler?
Yep, Tyler.
Tyler Stallings was a 4-year-old when he first learned that some veterans are homeless. Veterans are a part of the Maryland Boys' extended family, and he's always thought of them as heroes. Homeless veterans didn't make sense to him. He wanted to do something to help them right away. So he asked his mom if he could build houses for them. At such a young age, he wasn't in the best position to start building houses.
He still wanted to help, so Tyler started doing something a little bit more realistic. He began making what he calls hero bags. Doing something special for veterans began after I started asking my mom why some veterans are homeless, Tyler said on his GoFundMe page. After talking to my mom, I really wanted to help build homes for veterans, but together we decided on a more realistic goal. We came up with an idea to make hygiene and grooming kits with thank you cards to give to veterans in need. I call them hero bags.
During winter, a hero bag could be packed with a hat, gloves, blanket, lip balm, a sweater, toothbrushes and toothpaste, soap, and more. In the 4 years Tyler has been helping veterans, he has donated close to 3,000 hero bags. His mother, Andrea Blackstone, told CNN on Sunday. He has helped many veterans and has raised more than $50,000 over the past 4 years. He buys a lot of merchandise from donations, Blackstone said. We go now all the time. Tyler has given bags and other items to many organizations that help homeless veterans. He has also given to individuals directly as well.
Anything people can do to help with them, anything people can do to help them with items on their wish lists, that's where people like Tyler come in, Blackstone said. For Tyler, being a part of that community as a superhero has been about raising awareness.
And of course, you can find the link to that story on our Libsyn feed.
That one comes to us directly from CNN.
That's right. Thank you, CNN, for a little bit of good news today.
It's not often we get good news, and that's why we like to highlight it every week.
Right. I actually did something similar a couple years ago, too, in Chicago. When I would visit my sister, I brought a couple of, like, homeless backpacks with me. And they were just backpacks filled with supplies like that. Like, you put, like, a thermal blanket in there, you know, like a heat blanket, and some basic supplies and, you know, like, non-perishable food and stuff that they can keep with them. And I handed out a couple of those. And I kind of set that as, like, it's good timing because I did it around Thanksgiving each time. And I felt like, you know, just trying to do a small part for people. And a lot of times, you know, people are uncomfortable with just giving money or anything else, but there really are people out there who are struggling, and they're not always the people who have the guts to stand on a corner and ask for change and stuff.
Right.
Quite a few people who are struggling with homelessness don't have the voice to be able to ask for help that they actually need. And so those care packages can be a good substitute instead of feeling like you're wasting your money or that it's going to something you might not support. Put your money where your mouth is and invest in something that you know will help people.
Right.
And
You've
even
been known to buy food.
Oh yeah, that's a huge part of my random acts of kindness have been with homeless people, and I think a lot of that has to do with, you know, like anybody who's listened to my story. Quite a few people have actually went back and listened to the first 3 episodes. It's nuts to look at those numbers. Yeah,
happy about it.
Right, those are some of our biggest numbers. Are those first couple episodes? So a lot of you out there listening have heard my story, and you know that I was blessed enough that when I was going through a homeless situation, I had a vehicle. You know, I had my own vehicle that I had paid for, and I was able to crash on people's couches. So homelessness was a different story of mine. I didn't have to resort to sleeping on the ground like a lot of people are forced into.
You had something, and that something was a car, and that's very valuable.
That's a huge difference. Yeah, and at the very least, in a pinch, you can sell it and, you know, have a little bit of money to put towards whatever you need to take care of. So I know I was very blessed in that situation, but it's also a reason why homelessness resonates close to my heart and why I put a lot of effort into that.
Yeah. I also want to bring up, since we're just kind of winging it, is that we are getting into the holiday season. And Sean brought up earlier that, you know, be kind always. It's always about being nice to people. But I'm telling you, the holidays are not always great for some people.
Right. They're hell for some people.
Yeah. There's a lot of people who think everybody's in the hip, happy, holiday, cheerful spirit. And although we know a lot of people wear masks and could be smiling and laughing as you sing that song or whatever, but remember, a lot of people could be having a difficult time keeping that smile on their face that day for whatever reason, whatever reason.
That song that, you know, makes you feel so much joy could be the favorite song of someone who lost their wife, you know what I mean? And that song resonates on a whole different level for them now. And so you never know, like we always talk about, you never know what people are going through. You never know the struggles. Just try and be a little bit nicer this time. Or be a little more patient. You know, you want that holiday spirit from everybody else, and you get what you give in this world. So give a little more patience, give a little more compassion, and I guarantee you it will lead you to some happier holidays.
Absolutely, and hopefully somebody else as well.
And hopefully you're going to participate in our TBS challenge.
Yup.
The gratitude challenge.
Challenge. Oh,
that's right.
The TBS challenge. I had to do it.
Anybody who listened to last week's episode knows that we are doing the TBS challenge, and at the point of you hearing this podcast, I will have already nominated my person who gives me gratitude. Hopefully Ben's done the same, because if we aren't leading by example on this show, what the hell are we doing?
I was here for the beer.
So much makes sense now.
Definitely, I will definitely. Wait, this is my house.
You're allowed to have beer.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I'll definitely be nominating somebody very shortly.
Good.
It's a good challenge. If you haven't yet, please jump on the challenge. We were just talking about spreading good vibes. And
hashtag TBS Gratitude Challenge. That's a mouthful. It's a little longer. Maybe we'll find shorter tags.
We might come up with a different hashtag in the future, but
for now, TBS Gratitude Challenge.
Spread that love.
Nominate somebody and we'll read it on the air next week for a post-Thanksgiving episode.
Somebody that you're thankful for or you're really happy to have in your life. Just make sure you post it. Let other people know.
This show is happening, and it's good, and we are a part of it.
Good vibes. Isn't it hilarious? Sometimes it's so hard to get the good out of people.
That's right. But we do our best. And
can you give me a hint
as
to who you're going to nominate?
I'm probably going to lean with my mom.
Dude, you can't stay it straight up.
Well, I just did.
All right.
Yeah. I mean, I have a lot of examples of people that I could be grateful for. I could really go into detail about almost any person in my life as to why I'm grateful for them. And there are so many different examples that I could pull from, like from all my nieces and nephews and how much joy they bring me in spending time with them, or, you know, any of my family members that I'm really close with, and they all reach out and we talk on a regular basis, and that's a good relationship to have. And, you know, I've got a good relationship with both of my parents, and I'm in a good relationship in general, you know, in life with Margie and things going well there. I could be grateful for so many different things. And I just know my mom is a central thesis just because she's always been that source of strength for me. She's always been that rock. And I know that as she gets older, I want to share some of that load from her and help be that rock as well. And it's kind of cool that, you know, I'm the baby of the family and I still get that kind of respect from my older siblings and stuff, where they're like, yeah, you know, it's Sean. He is an old soul.
Well, now I can't choose my mom.
You can.
And you know how much I talk.
I think you should, because exactly of how highly you talk about
I talk about my mom a lot. But no, I'm going to highlight my mom probably every week on this show. So I will choose somebody completely unique. For my nomination, I have not decided yet, because I do have so many people that I am thankful for in my life. Friends, family, and honestly, a lot of people I don't know their name. I love it when I go through the day and I look over and I'm just like, thank you, random person driving who let me cut in and waved me.
And wasn't rude.
Here you go. Yeah, anybody. Honestly, I could be thankful for any person that doesn't do something to make my day a little bit harder every day. That person's worth just as big of a thank you as the person that I'm closest to.
Yeah. Well, we know this episode drops on Monday morning. It will be 3 days before Thanksgiving. Yep. We just found our topic for the day, thankfulness. That's what we're going to talk about today, and we're going to spend an episode on it.
Let's do it.
Let's
Boy,
do it.
I can go off on this one.
Yep. I mean, we're already almost 20 minutes in. We haven't even really started talking yet.
Didn't we do a segment way back? I think I had brought it up to you, and you made me think, or I think I answered my own question.
3 things you were thankful for?
And all of a sudden, I had to start thinking, and I thought for a long time. And then I looked at myself and I said, look at yourself thinking and weighing the proper things to bring up as being thankful for. You have so many things to be thankful for.
You have to weigh your options.
You have to try to prioritize them. And I remember I sat back, I looked at you and I kind of laughed. I was like, oh, I think I just figured out the whole reason for this exercise right here.
And if I remember right, that was a day when you were pretty pissed about something.
I was very mad.
You were in a bad mood. And
I don't remember what it was.
And it was one of the quick exercises of like, watch how we can change your brain. And you did the 3 things and you thought about it for a little while. And then you finally said 3 things you were thankful for. And then we had a little bit more of a conversation. And it wasn't long before you were laughing and smiling. And I said, see, now look at how your attitude has turned around. And it does it instinctually.
On accident.
Right?
I had to prioritize good things. It made me think about the good things that I had, the good people around me, the good things that had happened recently and in the past. And when you start to think about them more often, you really realize what it's all about.
Yep. You know one thing I'm thankful for, Ben?
Tell me.
We've been doing this show for so long that we can do callbacks to old episodes of things we've talked about that fit into new episodes.
You want to put it in perspective? We started this show when I was bitching about the cold.
It's now cold
It's
again.
cold again, Sean. Is it bad that I think of my time here on this earth in segments of how long it's been cold and how long it's been warm?
Right.
Well, some people call those months. I guess that is pretty standard to think of those as time periods.
Seasons.
Thankfulness. Oh, I'm thankful for my kitty here.
Yep.
Hi, kitty.
Now that Odie is upstairs and limited, we no longer have his collar shake. Oh, see, the cat had to do it right on cue. I hope they heard that out there. Because the cat just gave us a collar wiggle to be like, all right, I'll take over the torch from Odie. Got to let them show be known every week that I'm here. I'm loud and I'm proud and I'm a cat.
For those of you who don't know, my dog is 16 years old.
Yep.
My mom thinks he's 15. We argue all the time, but there's literally veterinarian paperwork that says he's 16. So, Mom, show me the paperwork or stop. But he is not doing well. He's doing well now. A couple of days ago, I'd say 5-6 days.
I mean, it was the last time we recorded. So
yeah, did I mention it then?
No. Nope.
Yeah, so Odie woke up and my brother brought him out and he got sick and he wasn't standing. He was falling over. He couldn't go to the bathroom.
His eyes were going nuts.
His eyes were going back and forth as if he'd had a concussion. We didn't know. The vet thought maybe vertigo or maybe a stroke. I haven't really gotten a final on either one of those, but I can tell you Odie is walking again, wagging his tail, and finally yesterday and today he has started to eat and drink again. Normally, well, not normally, but he's eating and drinking better now. But I'm so thankful that Odie is pulling through.
Another thing to be thankful for.
Half the time I don't even love the dog. Stop peeing on the floor,
He drives
damn
you nuts,
dog.
but you love him.
It's like, but he's a family member.
Right, and it's crazy, too, how there are just so many things in life, and we talk about this all the time, that we take for granted.
Yeah.
And there are so many things that when you start thinking truly deep down about all the things you're thankful for and the things that you have going for you, it just sucks that human nature, man, is just to have that mentality like it's not good enough, it's not going the way that it should, it's not going to plan, it's not unfolding as fast as I'd like it to, and that's just the way that we are, and it just sucks that is the instinct behind our brain for so long and for so many people.
Well, what's funny, too, is I think I mentioned earlier that once you start thinking about the things that you're thankful for, that's when you truly become more thankful right now. And it's so many people will tell you the number one way to increase memory is to consistently and on purpose think about memories. If you want to remember something, keep thinking about it. You will not forget it because you keep bringing it to the forefront. We all live in a day and age where it's about, we want people to live now in today, but we're in a society that says forget tomorrow, today's got to be better. You got to work harder, you got to play harder, you got to be better than yesterday. And while we all would like that, it means that we quickly forget what happened yesterday, forget what happened even longer than that, and we just put today in front. It's a new slate. While that can be good at sometimes, it also makes it so that sometimes you can forget the good that happened yesterday. Today's a really bad day. What about yesterday? Was yesterday better? Well, that happens. But remember the things that you're thankful for and the good things that happened yesterday, because they can and will happen again.
Yeah.
And as long as you're thankful for them and thinking about them, it should bring your mood up.
Right, and the more that you think about them, the more you focus on them, the more they will become your core, and they'll become your fallback.
The important part.
Yep, and eventually, it seems like such simple math, and it seems cliche, but all the times there are so many things that point to cliches being right. You know what I mean?
They're a cliche for a reason.
Right, exactly, and that the more you count your blessings, the more they add up to. Because it's where you spend your time. Of course, if you spend all day thinking about what went wrong, if you spend all day thinking about how things could have been different, or beating yourself up for those things, it's easy to have a negative attitude all the time because it's where all of your focus is dominated.
Well, that's tough though, because I'm the kind of person where I'll say, I'll do that exercise, Sean, and I'll notice that only one good thing happened today. And then I'll say, well, look at that, only one good thing happened today. don't be me. Think of it as being thankful. We touched on plenty of times that just be thankful if you're crawling into bed at night and you're about to go to sleep. Be thankful that you made it back to bed.
Yep.
You made it.
Make your bed your place of gratitude. You know, when you wake up in the morning.
I'm very thankful for my bed.
Right? Who isn't? That can be the first thing you're thankful for. Like, I made it to the end of the day. I'm so comfortable right now.
I'm still alive.
I got my Netflix on. I'm getting ready to go to sleep.
Yeah.
You
got a
know?
TV in your bedroom?
Oh, I do.
Impressive. I didn't know you were so wealthy.
Oh, God.
No, the bedroom is something where I just, this is a little bit sidestepping, but I want people to do that. Make your bedroom not just a place where you go to sleep every night, but make it a place that speaks to you. A lot of people say don't work in your bedroom. Don't do all these other things in your bedroom. It can be detrimental to your sleep, this and that. Your body, figures out, oh, I'm in the bedroom, I'm supposed to do this now.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yes, but I've done research of myself. No, I've done a lot of research. I'm in the home decor business myself, wall art. Make your bedroom a place where when you enter it, you stop and think of these things. Here I am again in my happy place, and I'm thankful, I'm grateful. Make it a place where you're happy to be, so that when you do wake up every morning and that you do go to sleep every night, you are in a place that is fostering good thoughts. Mm-hmm. It's so important. We spend a lot of time in our bedrooms. We spend a lot of time in our beds. Why would you want it to not be one of the happiest places in your house? Mm-hmm. I think it's important, and people should do that. That's the end.
I like it. Speaking of Ben being in wall decor, I think...
Oh, I keep missing it. Work takes up a lot of my time, but...
that I have talked to Ben a couple of times now.
At least a dozen.
About us getting a backdrop for this show that is not New York City. Anybody watching on YouTube, you see what I'm talking about. Anybody listening to the show, you can jump on YouTube and see what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
One day, it's going to say, The BOWA Show Podcast, right over our shoulders. And for everybody on YouTube, they'll be like, snap!
They did it.
Look at how they
They
started from the bottom. Now we're here.
Oh, I'm gonna play that song too.
That'll be the first day that we have the sign hung up behind us. Yeah, that will be the opener that day.
I'm gonna crip walk into the frame with that song blaring.
Yep.
I don't know how to crip walk.
You heard it here first.
I don't know how to crip walk. I'll learn.
I doubt that.
How's this? It's a couple days before Thanksgiving. So let's do what everybody in the media depicts Americans as doing on Thanksgiving. Let's start. Tell me one major thing you're thankful for besides the person you will soon nominate.
Okay.
But what's one thing, let's say today, that you're thankful for?
The guys I work with, because I have a very close relationship with them. I see them more as family than like coworkers or anything at this point. I get along so well with our foreman, and like I know that we have the type of relationship, it's almost like brothers, like I said, family. And it's something that I'm incredibly thankful for, because so many people talk about their work environment as a toxic place, and if the place that you have to spend anywhere from 8 to 12 hours a day is a hellhole, life is a much greater struggle.
And a majority of people would say that it is for them.
Right? And so that's one thing that I know I'm incredibly thankful for. On top of the fact that I just have a job that I enjoy, I have a boss that, gives me a great amount of freedom to be myself, and he's let me grow into a salesman on my own terms as opposed to trying to force my hand, or try and make me the salesman he wants me to be. Yep, exactly. Instead of pushing me like that, he said, I'm going to let you be you and watch how you do well with it. And it's turned out great for me at this point. So, and I know that I'm only moving in more positive directions. Like I'm starting next year with as many sales as it took me this year to like August, and that's going into the spring. Wow. So I'm so far ahead of my pace that it's like, oh, I just have no pressure going into next year. And then as soon as next year starts, that no pressure translates to customers instantly, you know, and they're like, oh, I can feel this guy. And he's not desperate like a lot of these other guys out here right now. He's not fighting for the job. He just wants to do a good job for me.
He wants to make sure that I've got a good roof and that I'm going to get good service.
That's right. And I know that kind of feeling translates well to customers very quickly. And so in all facets, I'm very thankful for my job, the people I work with, the opportunities that it presents me, growth opportunities, the potential behind it. You know, I'm very, very thankful for my job. So that's an easy one, as I just talked about it for a couple minutes. And you can feel my passion about it too. Anybody who talks to me, or if you're someone who has had to sit down with me and talk about a roof, you can know very quickly, like, I know what I'm talking about. I'm passionate about what I'm doing, and I'm going to be very real with you about every step of the way. So I know that that's a huge asset in the sales world, and it benefits me greatly. What's something you're thankful for?
I was literally thinking the entire time that you were talking.
Yep.
Still thinking.
That makes for fantastic podcasts. Let me tell you,
Silence.
We'll just sit here in silence while Ben thinks about this for a little while, guys.
I think what I am thankful for at this point is that I feel and have been, I found out yesterday, and it was put into perspective for me in a unique way, but I'm thankful that I predominantly am a creative. I'm thankful that if anybody who knows me knows, I try everything. I go to concerts of bands I don't like to try it out and experience it. I'm in it for the experience.
Yeah.
And I have many outlets from that I can take how I'm feeling and try to either overlook it or overwrite it with something else more fun, or I have an avenue that I can dive deeper into when I'm thoughtful. I'm a photographer, and I'm so grateful for the opportunity to allow my brain to wander because it's so good at it. Oftentimes at work, I'm left-brained and right-brained because I have to be, but I love when I can just let it flow. I'm very thankful that at times I'm better than others, but I'm thankful that I can let my mind flow. And that when it comes down to it, I have a way, photography, music, the hobbies that I'm into, hiking, anything, I can find an outlet to express myself or at least keep myself moving throughout the day. So I'm very thankful that I am able to be that way.
Yeah, I can definitely dig that.
You got to have your outlets.
It's true.
And we all have some that are possibly better than others. But I'm telling you, we've talked about passion a lot. We've talked about hobbies. We talk about, just improving your attitude. If you don't think you have an outlet besides Netflix or something, which is fine.
Yep.
But
killing time is okay sometimes. You don't always have to be on.
Right.
And that's a major flaw of a lot of like the self-help things you listen to and everything else. You feel like you've got to be on the grind 24/7, and you can't. That's not the way life is right now.
It's also, in my opinion, not the way it's supposed to be lived.
No. And there are a lot of people, like, we can talk about Gary Vee quite a bit on this show, and his biggest thing...
I love to hate that son of a bitch.
Right, because he has so many great nuggets of wisdom to be able to pass along to you, but at the same time, a lot of his drive and a lot of the people he talks to are people who want to be rich, and for that, like, you might need that grind. You might need that hustle if your end goal is to only see monetary success.
Yeah, if you want to own the New York Jets.
Right. If that is your back goal, you do know you have to aim higher, But for a lot of us out there, that's not the kind of aspirations we're seeking in this world.
I should have said that. I just came up with what I'm actually truly thankful for.
Okay.
Pause. Rewind. I have had the privilege the last 2 months now of hunting season to be able to go up to my family's cottage, my grandparents' cottage, and hunt with my grandfather. Now, I don't know what I love more, spending time with my grandfather or being at a place where my phone literally doesn't work. Because the peace and serenity and silence I feel up there when I'm sitting in a tree, ice cold, drinking coffee out of a shaking hand and not seeing a damn animal.
Yep.
I love it.
Right?
The silence, I am so grateful to be able to have that opportunity. my grandparents have a cottage.
Mm-hmm.
And it's in my family, and I have the right to go up and use it, let alone spend time with my 80-plus-year-old grandfather doing what we love. Man, that's what I'm thankful for.
Right.
Had to do it.
I don't blame you at all.
It has been wonderful. Sorry for anybody who's been trying to text me. I haven't been responding because I can't get the texts, but I also don't want to respond. Sorry.
Well, I mean, you were talking about how it's good to let your mind wander, and I feel like we kind of squish a lot of that in today's world because you're so quick to pull out your phone that you don't really experience boredom anymore.
Have you ever sat in a doctor's office and just looked around?
Yeah, and like people think I'm a psycho because I try to start conversations with them.
I know. And people think it
time.
is so old school. Like, oh, hey, how you doing today? And somebody will look up from their phone at you like, is this guy talking to me?
Couldn't you have messaged me that on Facebook, dude?
Like, bro, I don't know you, right? Why are you talking to me?
Do we have any mutual friends, bro?
Unless we have mutual friends, don't talk to me.
Yeah, and I get that crazy look from a lot of people who I strike up conversations with. But you know what's cool is like pulling someone out of their shell like that. Like they start off so apprehensive and standoffish with it, and to watch them be like, oh, wait a minute, this is like a real human interaction here.
Is this life?
Right? And it's so awesome to see them kind of come into it and be like, oh, okay. And like, we're actually talking for a minute. He didn't just say, hey, how's it going? Good.
Well, you've mentioned before that it's way easier once you break some people out of their shell, they just go off.
Right.
You say a lot of people talk to you.
I
Give me an example.
I get deep stories from strangers, and like closest example I can think of, and it's someone who might actually be listening to the show because the conversation that we had ended up leading into the podcast and me saying like, oh, this is what I do as like a hobby. I host a podcast about positive living. And within a 5-minute conversation of me giving a little bit of my backstory and where it's led me, she opened up to me to let me know that, you know, she had just lost a child and it was to suicide, and that it was a message that really hit close to home for her, especially in trying to reach out and notice the warning signs of, you know, mental health awareness. And
you had this conversation with a stranger
in 5 minutes. Yep. And that was like, it's so humbling and like awe-inspiring to watch how people want to open up. People want to share their stories. Mm-hmm. People want to be vulnerable, but we're also so conditioned to keep our shields up, you know?
They're looking for somebody to talk to. You might not be the one they want to,
right,
but you started it.
But I lead you there, you know? Yep. And I'm going to be vulnerable myself, and I'm going to tell you things about me where you're like, wait a minute. A total stranger doesn't have to tell me that, you know? And I feel like so many of us are just longing for that human connection. And it's like you said, I don't know, a couple weeks ago when you were saying like coming home and you wave to your neighbors and nobody waves back. And you're like,
don't be that neighbor.
Right, just wave. Let's have the connectedness. I feel like so many people are longing for that. And a lot of us are just like too scared to reach out and start the talk. So that's why I've kind of made it a mission of starting those conversations, and I'm willing to be vulnerable, and I'll put myself out there in the sake of, you know, pulling someone from their shell.
It's brave on, you know, in your perspective as well.
Yeah.
Some people, well, I go to places and I'll see people sitting there. I'll give you a great example, and I'll be honest about it. I have never picked up a girl at a bar. Never once have I'll start a conversation. Not the way I wanted to.
Spread your buns.
Now we're demonetized.
No, that was clean.
Where's your boyfriend at? Let me buy you things. I get that one from my cousin. But it is difficult for me at times. I'm a very open person. I'm social. I'm definitely not an introvert most of the time. But it is so difficult for me sometimes to be the guy to start the conversation. Mm-hmm. Sometimes I just like to be led into it. That's why I'm the co-host, Sean. I'm just here while you lead. But
I'll talk all day.
Oh, and you do. But everybody loves hearing it. I did the other day. You say you have great conversations at the gas station.
I do.
I had one
Russell
the other
is a regular listener now at this point.
At Meyer?
Yep.
Attaboy, thanks, Russell.
Right. I talk to Chuck all the time.
Chuck?
Yep.
Is Chuck the tall one with the curly hair?
No, Chuck's the manager with glasses.
Oh, I don't know.
He works like day shift all the time. Okay. He's there almost every day. I mean, and I know that because I'm there every day.
Well, I was at a gas station, a Meyer gas station in Ludington, And here's what I did. I was so stuck in my blinders mode.
Mm-hmm.
I walk in and I say 20 on pump 3. Okay, here 20, this and that. I go back out there. Some bitching gas pump ain't working.
Uh-oh.
I'm doing everything. I'm pushing the button. No gas coming out. And there's a button that says pay inside. I'm like, yeah, I did. Here, maybe I got to hit that. So I clicked it. Then all of a sudden the guy from inside goes, pump 5. Glad to have you here. We'll see you when you're inside or something like that. I'm like, 5? I just paid on 3. And I look over and this woman pumping gas on pump 3.
She's getting your $20.
Glint in her eye, gets in, takes off, and I'm like, shit. So I put 20 in and I go inside. I'm like, I'm sorry. I told you pump 3. I meant pump 5. And he's like, oh. He's got those eyes like, what the hell do I do now?
Yeah.
Right, somebody just took the $20. Well, within about 10, 15 minutes of us trying to figure this situation out, there's some downtime while one of the guys is calling the manager trying to figure out what's going on. And the guy's just sitting there looking down at the floor because that's easier than talking to somebody in front of you, right? About my age. I said, so, how are you now? A little bit. I don't know if you watched Letterkenny, but I was like, how are you now?
I haven't got into it yet.
He goes, oh, not so bad. I'm like, oh, yeah, let's
so
go.
he actually watches it?
And I was like, dude, I love Letterkenny. He's like, I did too. And we just started talking about it and talking about recent episodes and whatnot. Then the guy comes back and says, oh, we got it all figured out. I gave you a refund on one of the 20s. We're all taken care of. And then I left and I was kind of smiling, thinking about more Letterkenny quotes I should have said and all this. And then I left and I was like, I probably just had a Sean conversation.
Right.
I think. It was just 10 minutes in a gas station. All of a sudden, I know that guy was laughing, and I was laughing.
You left him in a better mood. You left yourself in a better mood.
Yeah, it was. And it was just one of those things where it led in with a simple, how are you now?
Right.
And that's
he
where we
knew
went.
it. So you've got that common ground right out of the gate.
Oh, good. And you? Oh, not so bad. I enjoyed it, Sean. And I tell you what, I was out of my blinders mode at that point. The rest of the drive home was much more pleasant. And I don't know why I wasn't in a bad mood in the first place, but I had spoken with somebody for about 5 minutes about absolutely nothing.
Yep.
And all of a sudden I was in a better mood.
That's because your candle lit another candle and the world was a little bit brighter because of it that day. So
I just think we lack a little bit of human communication now, or a little bit of human interaction in 2019, soon to be 2020. We're all so glued to, that was a little bit of a joke earlier when I said, if we don't have any mutual friends, don't talk to me. But that's damn near what
real.
It's like nowadays.
That's an actual setting on Facebook. Like, people can't add you if you don't have mutual friends.
Right.
So.
Like, how is it? Like, we've all been to a first day on the job, right? And people are like, how long is it going to be until they come out of their shell? Well, isn't that crazy?
Right.
That sometimes we've got a real thick shell and people don't even know the real you until all of a sudden you're like, all right, I got my bearings. I'm comfortable-ish.
I'm going to open up a little.
I'm going to start to open up. Let the crazy out just a little. Now, for me, that shell's about 30 minutes.
Mine is less, so don't feel bad. I come in naked, no shell.
Naked?
That's how I break the ice.
Damn, now that is an icebreaker. I should try that at the bar with those girls I was talking about.
You know how much a polar bear weighs?
What?
Enough to break the ice. How you doing? I'm Sean. Nice to meet you.
Oh, is that what you lead with every time?
That's the leader.
I'll try that on Tinder. My most recent
laugh.
lines aren't working.
Okay.
Damn.
I gave you an easy one. And it's an older joke, so a lot of these young gals that you're out there chasing might not know it. So
there are no young gals I'm chasing. At my age, I'm 1, ready to be a stepfather.
Yep, that's a fact. You're going to have that happen.
28 years old. It's probably going to happen.
Yep. Maybe a divorcee.
Oh, no. I was going to say that's my ideal situation.
Okay. Yep.
I can go to the Kirby downtown Grand Haven on dueling piano night. 40-year-olds as far as the eye can see. And I am loving it.
You're getting old, Ben.
If I see another pair of buckled jeans, I don't know what I'm going to do, dude. But, and Gap boyfriend jeans, man, these girls know how to do it when you're fiscally responsible. So much better than dealing with somebody in the early 20s who thinks life's going to hand them a mansion here at 25 and everything's going to be all great. You talk to somebody who's been through a divorce or who has had children or who has had to work for themselves for a decade or more, it's a much different conversation than somebody fresh out of college.
True.
Ideal situation. If anybody out there, let's play matchmaker. If you have been through a divorce, hopefully with an engineer, doctor, or lawyer, please give me a call. My number is, no, I'm not putting that out there, but yeah, that's just what I'm ready for it, dude. None of my Tinder, I'm swiping right all day. That's probably because of the way I look, huh? I was talking earlier. I'm thankful that I'm able to grow my hair out, because I was looking at old pictures and I look way better with short hair. But I'm thankful I'm able to grow my hair out. But I was telling you and or Matt recently that my Tinder is damn near catfishing.
It's true because
Wasn't
it's
that
so
you?
old. Yeah, when we were coming back
Oh,
from Dave.
dear.
Yeah.
Oh, I have really short, almost buzzed hair. I'm hella skinny.
Yeah.
You
want to know what's so annoying about this though? So like I took Ben's phone and just messed around on his Tinder. If you want to be disgusted right now, no, it's so annoying that it's going to relate to so many people out there. Every single person that you swipe right on, this asshole gets a match.
I'll be honest with you though too.
That does not happen to the norms of us out there. As someone before with my dating experiences, you get a whole lot of nothing on every dating app, and this guy is swimming in matches. So don't you dare feel bad for Ben and his catfishing profile for even a second.
The funny thing is, I'm not looking for anything right now. I really don't. I am so happy just trying to figure myself out right now, but he's right.
Oh, it's a match. Oh, it's a match.
Sean's always like, are you going to say something to him? I'm like, no, I'm on here for fun.
I'm not even going to talk to him. Meanwhile, there are guys swiping constantly, just waiting for a match. Right? I just want one date. No,
sorry, I'm not mocking these people.
You know why none of them are swiping for you? Because they're all swiping on Ben and his 10-year-old profile.
No, I will be honest. I have always gotten those kind of right swipes.
Yeah, but you know what's lucky for you? You are still a photographer, and that's an instant hook.
The last line in my bio is, I will shoot photos for your Instagram.
Right.
And I am thankful that I'm a photographer, like I said earlier.
Probably gets at least 25% of your swipes.
I have girls reach out to me saying, that sounds great. I'm not really interested in you.
I don't want to date you, but I'll have you take my pictures.
Oh my God, it works every time. Also, some of those gnarly pickup lines I use, you and Matt were so mad. I guess they are slightly pornographic.
They're terrible.
But they always get, at least the girl comes back with, what? And I'm always like,
lol.
I'm in.
Lol. That's what you get out of it, you son of a bitch.
Am I allowed to read one of them? No.
I don't know.
It's beyond the point.
Yeah.
Beyond the point.
We already said spread your butt on a microphone today.
You said that today.
Oh, that's right.
I've never said that in my life if I put those three words together.
I've heard you yell that to strangers out the window of my vehicle.
Oh, I need to stop drinking, Sean.
I told you this episode was going off the rails.
Oh, it is
right
going
from
off
the beginning.
Great
We
conversation.
didn't even do a clip today.
No, I don't think we really need to.
It's just it's a comedy episode for you guys. It's a good, me and Ben just sitting back and talking.
Yeah,
it's an easy one to talk about. Thankfulness. It's a good week. You guys are probably coasting through this week too, getting ready to mash on Thanksgiving food.
I bought new sweatpants.
Right? Maybe you're listening to this post Thanksgiving and you're like in a state of relaxation and
you're passed out.
Your food is gestating in your stomach.
Stop! I don't like that.
I don't even know if that's the right word.
I doubt it.
It came out of my mouth.
I've never heard it. Is that English?
I know it's real.
Oh.
Gestating. Now I'm going to look it up real quick. You just go ahead and talk for a second. Then.
Well, I'm still laughing about my Tinder and Bumble and Hinge experience.
Because I have to be honest with everybody and let them know that you are stealing all the likes.
Okay, I'm going to go completely off the rails for a minute, and this is slightly embarrassing for me, but I have had so many people tell me it's a genius that I have to share. If you're a guy out there...
No, I was way off about that food. I mean, it says the process of carrying or being carried in the womb between conception and birth. But I guess maybe you are kind of carrying your food.
Food baby.
And you're going to poop that out in a food baby later.
I want to go on and give some advice.
This is an episode.
I think we need a new segment called Advice from Ben.
Oh, God.
It could be the worst absolute segment.
It could become like an ironic segment.
But let's start it right now. I got a good one for everybody, especially with the holidays coming up.
Uh-oh.
You need a little bit of companionship. Are you just out there trying to find some girl or guy to talk to? Well, let me lay it out for you. This is Ben's 78% guaranteed way to get yourself a date.
60% of the time it works every time.
So let's
Sex Panther.
let's start at the beginning. You go to your local Target. Hit up your local Target.
Yep.
This is how you do it. You go into the store. You grab one of those beautiful red carts that just screams, I'm paying too much for my produce.
Mm-hmm.
And you start throwing stuff in it that makes you look like a badass. Okay? Throw in car magazines. Throw in tools. Throw in whatever you feel like.
Steaks.
Whatever makes you, thick, giant porterhouse steaks that you have no intention of buying at all. You do not have to buy any of these items that you are putting into your cart. Second, step 2, you make your way all the way over to the wine aisle. Because everybody knows at Target, they got a lot of wine.
Okay.
You know what else is in the wine aisle at Target, Sean?
What?
Beautiful women. Beautiful women as far as the eye can see. You camp out. You got a cart that makes you look like a badass. You're sitting there looking at wine. Okay? This girl, you finally pick up this girl or guy, pick them out, and you're like, I want to talk to that one. You wait for him to look or pick up a bottle of wine. You walk right over and you say, have you tried that? I've heard good things about it. You know what just happened, Sean?
What?
You're in.
Oh.
They got to say something.
Right.
They got to say something back. So you've instantly started the conversation. You've got a bottle of wine in your hands. And if you're at Target, nobody has anything to frickin' do. Nobody goes to Target and is like, I got 10 minutes at Target. No. People who are at Target are killing time, nothing to do. And you just have all 3 things you need for a good time. You got some wine, you got somebody to talk to, and you've got a cart that you have to somehow get rid of before they realize you're not buying anything.
I was about to say that step 4 is leaving your cart behind for some poor Target employee to have to put away all your crap because you have a cart full of manless stuff.
You got green steak in there because you've been prowling for 2 hours.
In its own filth.
Oh, but there you go. Thank you for joining me for this segment of Advice from Ben.
Yeah. Woof.
I thought that's great
Buzz,
advice.
your girlfriend. Woof.
I have heard 2 people told me that they've tried it and it worked for them as well. So
maybe Barnes and Noble could be another one of them.
Nope, because you don't have wine in your hand.
The wine is the deal
sealer. It is. It's the absolute deal sealer because
you're classy. You're a classy drinker.
Drinking wine. Chicks dig wine, dude. And second, you've already picked up the item that you probably will christen off on this said date, possibly. Because if you're actually somebody that wants to go on a good date with somebody, I'll tell you what, one that's overlooked for date number 3 is dinner at home. Don't overlook it, Sean. Well, you can anyway. You're wifed up.
Ben's advice.
My second bit of advice, don't dab in public.
Anybody watching on YouTube got a taste of that. Everybody on the podcast was like, what just happened? That was
a
we
weird
dabbed. Pause right there.
We dabbed.
What if we aren't recording anymore on YouTube?
Oh, we are.
We have not checked that once in 50 minutes of recording.
It's true. Oh, you want me to?
I don't know.
You know what?
We'll be right back after this short commercial break. We should just start saying that for the eventual point when we do have ads.
Look at us still recording.
We'll be right back after this short commercial break.
Ding, ling, 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 jingle or something like
that. And we're back. For you guys, that was no time at all. For us, it was time.
Oh, my legs, Sean. My knees.
You're getting old, Ben.
I am.
You better get used to it.
Should we start this up?
Yeah.
You ready to go?
Tip of the tongue, teeth in the lips. How now, brown cow?
You took mine. Oh, well.
Thanks for bearing with us during that short commercial break.
Literally less than a second for anybody on the podcast.
Thanks to Omaha Steaks for being this week's proud sponsor of the BOWA Show. When you go to Omaha Steaks, make sure you enter that promo code BOWA Show in the upper right-hand corner to get no discount.
Not a single discount. And if you pick up an Omaha Steaks or any steak at your local Target, you will find women.
That's Ben's tip of the day.
Tip of the tongue, teeth, and the lips.
That's right. The warm-ups.
I do. You know what? I don't care. I'm going to do that segment every show from now on.
We're committed now. You said it to the listeners.
I'm committed. You're forced.
I'm here for the ride. That's what I'm here for.
If you want to hear that segment, please show Sean how much you want to hear it. Go on our Facebook and say, where is Ben's advice?
We want advice.
we want advice. Yeah. No, we'll have to start doing short clips of me throughout the week.
Ooh, we're going to get a Ben sitting solo in the chair.
I've only done it once, and it did terrify me, but I did it.
You did a whole episode on your own.
Yep, a couple of bush lights.
Passion. That was your episode. Yeah.
That's an easy one for me.
I think that was episode like 25, somewhere in there. 20.
You want to have a tough one for me, make me do an alone one of how to be an adult.
Uh-oh.
I won't have a freaking word to say.
This is going to be an all episode about clips.
I have curated at least 24 clips for you all today.
Totaling 50 minutes with my 10 minutes of dialogue segueing each clip.
Oh, man. Oh, man.
It's been a good day today.
It has.
We changed up the format for you guys because, today is kind of a coast episode. It's the going into the holidays for you. Wanted to try out just me and Ben having a conversation about a topic for the time.
I think we could go on for another 2 or 3 hours just the way you and I are, but...
Yeah, thankfulness is an easy one for anybody to harp on, and it's something for you guys to keep in mind as you're going through this holiday week. Maybe it's before the holiday, maybe you're already past the holiday. Maybe you're about to go Black Friday shopping and you're listening to the BOWA show before you dive into the madness.
If you actually go to stores for Black Friday shipping, shame on you.
Black Friday shipping.
Shopping. Shame on you. Anybody who runs over and tramples a Walmart employee to get themselves a TV that's only $100 off, shame on you.
But it is a good deal.
Shame on you because you could sit at home and get that same deal on their online store.
Amazon price matches almost all the Black Friday deals.
You remember 2006, 7, 8, 2009? People actually were camping out at stores to get TVs half off and stuff.
Yep. Walmart did have that crazy deal of like a 45-inch TV or something for like $100.
Now Black Friday started on Halloween.
Yep.
Like it runs online, all this stuff. It's been going, but Jesus, Black Friday. If you weren't around during that time, if there are any really young listeners, just do some research on go to YouTube and type in Black Friday Mayhem. Enjoy yourself. That's another Ben's advice tip for you right there.
Or you can always go on and watch the South Park trilogy episode all about Black Friday.
I just had a revelation.
Uh-oh.
Why would we have a segment called Advice from Ben when I am full of tips?
Tips from Ben? That does sound a little...
We'll come up with something a little
Ben's
different tips for you. Hey, Matt, if you got an idea on how I can incorporate all of my wonderful tips, let me know. I'll come up. I'll make it the title of the segment.
That's right. Should we do comedy today?
Do we have comedy?
We have Brett Morin from the Laugh Factory.
He's a great one. We were just watching it a minute ago. It is funny.
Brett Morin.
It's about something we all get a kick out of. Have you ever noticed? It's about high school. Have you ever noticed how many Netflix shows and Hulu shows and movies are all about high school?
Yeah, because it's that awkward time of your life.
Everybody everybody. I know a lot of people that loved high school and hated high school. I don't know anybody that goes,
right?
High school,
okay.
Yeah, who coasted? I mean, we all coasted through high school. Nobody's. Oh, high school's alright. It's alright.
It happened. It was a thing.
It happened. I went to band once or twice. It was fine. I got a boner in gym class.
Awkward.
It's a great one.
So go ahead and enjoy.
Dude, remember how much everything mattered in high school? I was thinking about that. Remember how much everything mattered? Remember reading out loud? Why the fuck did we have to do that? That was the most embarrassing shit ever.
I had a person in high school when we were reading aloud, and this just absolutely killed me when they were reading through a book and they got to the word Arkansas and they read it as Arkansas, and I don't know why that just killed me. And it forever scarred him from public reading, and he was like never volunteering again for reading in class. Just by that little slip up that anybody could have made. But
we need a soundboard. I just determined that. We will be purchasing one soon, or I'll rig up the computer, because it would have been great for me right there to go, today, Junior.
That's right. Sorry to interrupt that. I had to throw that
That's
out
a
there.
YouTube
Especially as
special.
a guy, like, by the way,
Only
ladies,
you
didn't know
guys
this.
got that.
Like, 13 years old, first off, like, we're getting hard for no reason. All day, teachers would make you stand. Brent, can you please stand and not be hard and read the book, please? Can you tuck the penis and read Macbeth, please? And our voices were changing. That was the worst shit ever, to have to read while your voice is changing, where you're sitting up there like, in 1940... In 1940... Oh, fuck. Oh, Jesus. And then the worst is when the teacher would go, take your time. Don't cock block me for all of high school. You can't say that shit. And your friends were assholes too. Guys' friends, they were assholes in class. They had no sympathy. The second you're like, in the you couldn't, they were like, you can't read, you're an orphan. He's an orphan. You're a fucking orphan. Lori, he loves you. He never wanted to tell you that shit. Caught him jerking off to your yearbook photo when he played field hockey. That field hockey one from last year, you look great. But he jerked off to it. What? You did. Fuck you, Brent. You sleeping over? Fuck you. It's the worst. But nothing was worse than asking girls out. Asking girls out in high school was the worst thing in the world. Because guys, like I said, had no sympathy. But then you girls, if I got turned down, would go and tell everybody. Like the second I got turned down, you go to your friends like, oh my God, you won't believe who just asked me out. You know Brent Moore, you know the kid with like the big head and the whatever body? Anyway, he comes up to me when I'm at my locker. He's sweating so much. I mean, covered in sweat. I'm like, what, did you just jog here? I don't know. Anyway, he starts going on about how he wishes we had clowns for teachers and we should have a bear day. I had no fucking idea what he was talking about. I was 15 minutes late for class. Then out of nowhere, he turns bright red, can't even make eye contact, and he's like, I was just wondering if you wanted to go to the movies with me on Saturday. And I was like, no, I have a boyfriend. And he was like, me too, and just walked away. Did you know he was gay? And I heard he can't read. But I feel like kids today don't have to deal with that as much. Like everything I'm reading, they're growing up so fast. You know, like they're getting blowjobs on the bus.
That laughed.
What? 7 a.m. blowjobs. Prince doesn't get 7 a.m. blowjobs. Who gets blown at 7 a.m.? Nobody should be late for the bus if you're getting blown on the bus. Moms have to be like, Bailey, time for school? Got it. French toast sticks. You got the French toast sticks? Give me the French toast sticks. Elliot, wait! Give me the French toast. Mom, I'm gonna get blown. Give me the fucking French toast stick. Throw them. Love school. They just go to the back of the bus like, Amanda, back here. I'm getting blown. 7. I'm so tired. Remember when buses didn't have shocks either? And you just jumped? You're like, oh. My God, 7 a.m. blowjobs. When I first got a blowjob, I didn't know what I was getting when I was standing in the middle of a field. Don't ask.
Don't ask.
She was down there doing her thing. I was up here panicking, just.
His face is incredible.
Can't do it justice, YouTube.
Like a...
Fantastic. I almost passed out.
And you guys can find that on YouTube, Laugh Factory, Brett Morin, Morin. Fantastic comedian. I love trying to highlight more of the lesser known guys who are getting their way onto the Laugh Factory. So check them out. A great bit of comedy from Brent.
That was
Morin.
inappropriate, Sean.
Yeah, we lost our monetizing right there for sure. If we
wish-
didn't already lose it on Spread Your Butt.
I don't know why you say it 3 and 4 times. I've never heard that before in my life. Never heard it before in my life.
I know. Oh, I love it.
I heard a great joke about that the other day. I'm not even going to tell it.
I bet our monetizing would go right out the window.
It already is, Sean. The only way anybody's going to give us money is if I wake up tomorrow and I go to work.
That will happen.
Yeah.
The dejected voice. But as people are listening to this, we are on the way to a holiday weekend, which is nice. We're on our way to Thanksgiving. We're on our way to being thankful. A reminder this time of year to hold things that are dear to your heart. Keep them close to you. Make sure you hug your loved ones.
Think about them often. Don't wait for this one time a year to be thankful.
Yep.
Try and do it daily.
Yep. Bring gratitude into your life, and a lot of things will change for you. I will probably do another gratitude episode soon, too, because I recently was sent an article that was like the science, the neuroscience behind gratitude and reshaping your brain. And, you know, for a lot of people, you just think the good that it's doing, but you never actually know the good that it's doing until you feel its effects. But I just love having science behind some of these things that we talk about and doing more and more studies about the things that, you know, are just a part of my life, but I love the fact that there's starting to become an analytics behind it as well.
Right?
I'm not just a quack. I mean, I am a quack, but
Kind of.
there's some real stuff there.
Somebody here. Doubt it.
Sketchy.
It's sketchy sometimes.
But as always, I will tell you guys how incredibly thankful I am for you. You, the listeners, are absolutely everything to the BOWA show. It's so appreciated, the love and support that we get from you guys.
We get a lot.
There are a lot of people who reach out on a regular basis now. It's nice to see the effects of the BOWA show reaching a broader and broader community, and we hope one day that it's a message that gets out to a ton of people.
Yeah. And I apologize if I'm a little short on Facebook or Instagram. Well, we don't have Instagram, but in general. I apologize if I'm short on Facebook if you talk to me personally. I just don't like it. I'm learning.
Reach out to
your
me.
Support.
I am a much better talker.
I have found, though, that I give much longer responses on Facebook.
True.
And I think it's because I'm trying to overcompensate for me knowing that
you're
I'm
not reading what they're sending at that moment.
Oh, I always
go
read.
back.
Aaliyah has been absolutely great. Aaliyah, I cannot thank you enough for all the comments, all the good words, everything nice that you said about us, all the inspiration, and knowing that somebody's listening and that's taking it to heart the exact way that Sean and I envisioned when we started this podcast. Thank you, because
Top fan badge.
your happiness is exactly what keeps Sean and I going.
Yeah. And, you know, a lot of times when we're doing this, we see, you know, you have numbers that are up and down, and, you know, we have international downloads, and then all of a sudden they go away, and you have the bouncing around of the numbers game of trying to make this podcast into something more. You know, I think ultimately both of us have that goal that we'd love it to be extended to millions and millions of people. But, you know, sometimes you can get discouraged in those numbers. And so that's why we always want to remind you guys out there how much we appreciate you, how much it means, because if it wasn't for you listening, we might have stopped doing this a while ago. You know, if there was nobody listening, it's like, well, yeah, it makes me and Ben feel good, and we know we're doing it for ourselves, but at the same time, it does cost money to do this.
Yes, it does.
A lot of people...
I have felt none of the money.
Well, no, you haven't. It costs me money to do
It costs
this.
Sean a lot of money to do this.
Yeah, and that's a part of the reason why we started throwing it up on YouTube too, because, you know, if the podcast did have to take a dive one day, it'd be cool that at least those memories will always be on YouTube where the content can live on.
Yeah. You know, I was starting to think about it the other day. I don't think you have to keep paying me per episode much longer.
Well, that's good because I don't pay you anything, so I'm going to keep it that way.
Oh, man.
Oh, God.
Sean, it has been an episode of just us talking, but I don't really feel like we talked that much.
No, it hasn't been bad. So, you know, if you're still listening at this point, too, if you're still watching on YouTube, give us your feedback. Let us what you thought about an episode of
Let
Just
us
Talking.
what you thought.
Was that what I said?
Yeah, you caught me
I
earlier.
mush-mouthed it right there? Okay.
Let us what you thought.
Let us what you thought.
And push the subscribe button.
Google Spotify, Apple Podcasts, everywhere you know that you find a podcast, you can find the BOWA Show.
That had like 3 different accents and 2 different personalities, right? Thank you so much for joining us. It has been a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's a good go-home episode for the holiday weekend. Hope you guys are remembering to be thankful. Like I said before, hug your loved ones a little bit closer this week. Spread some love, tackle today, and as always, make the best of what's around. Ben's a little slow today.
Born that way.
Hey, my friend, it seems your eyes are troubled.
I should take dancing lessons. You seem to get it. Oh, you know what I need to get on YouTube one of these times for the BOWA Show is an example of the Ben Perfect air bass. Nick Davison knows.
We also need to get you flossing.
Ooh, no, that's China Soul 2014. Oh my god.
Ben does a wicked floss. I've seen it on the lawn.
How many shows have you been to?
I think I just hit 41 this year.
Oh, that's right. We were talking about it because
Yeah.
you love song 41.
Yeah.
What was I at?
I don't know.
21?
20, yep, in your 20s.
Man, I wish.
I mean, you are.
Yeah, not 21 though.
Yeah, well.
Remember that first time you walked into the bar, 21, and you're like, yeah, bitch, I'm here for real.
I have
this
an
time.
ID.
Here for real. Hook me up with that.
You
And then
caught
like,
me.
they're like, what would you like? And you're like, shit, I don't know. Normally I just mix them all in a big
Right.
tub.
Young Sean drinking UV Blue and Red Bull.
Oh.
Sugar for days.
That sounds terrible.
It's so good, though.
But we always made the best of what's around.
Yeah, and we will continue to, and hopefully you do as well. We love you guys. Thanks for joining us on YouTube. Have a wonderful night, day, whatever you're doing. Yeah.